The Legend of the Beaver's Tail. Long ago, Beaver did not look like he does now. Yes, he was a chubby fellow, and yes, he had two very large front teeth. But his tail was not wide, and it wasn't flat. Beaver's tail was thick with silky fur. "Look at my glorious tail," Beaver said to the bird. "I bet you wish you had one like this." Bird said, "Beaver, it is a fine tail, but truly all I wish for is a cozy nest for my family." Beaver ignored Bird. He fluffed and plumped his tail as Bird flew to hunt for twigs and leaves. "This tail is the tail to end all tails," Beaver said to Deer. "I bet you wish you had a tail like this." Deer said, "Beaver, it is a fine tail, but truly all I wish for is some tender grass for my family to eat." Beaver ignored Deer. He brushed his tail on one side and then on the other as Deer left to forage for food. "I'm just saying," said Beaver to Fish, "this tail of mine is absolutely the most magnificent tail a creature could have. I bet you wish you had one like this." Fish leaped out of the water and said, "Beaver, it is a fine tail, but truly all I wish for is calm and warm water to rest in." Beaver ignored the fish, and Fish struggled on through the icy water as Beaver looked on at his own reflection. He turned around and around, trying to catch a glimpse of his glorious tail. Said Beaver. "How rude. I think my friends are just jealous of this beautiful tail of mine." And he waddled off to gnaw on a log. Autumn turned into a shivery winter. Beaver lumbered through the woods, and then he began to have a good chew of a trunk of a very large tree. Every now and then, he would stop and turn in circles around the trunk. In this way, he could chase his tail and give it another admiring look. Beaver was so caught up in this game, he didn't notice that the tree was cracking and teetering back and forth as he chipped away at its base. Crash! Smash! Beaver's fluffy, beautiful, glorious tail was trapped beneath the massive fallen tree. Beaver tugged and pulled. When he finally got his tail out, it was no longer fluffy, beautiful, or gorgeous. "Oh, my tail!" moaned Beaver, and he sat back and cried himself into a huge puddle of salty tears. But no one heard his cries to comfort him. And it was when Beaver stopped crying for the loss of his glorious tail that he cried harder and longer for the loss of his friends. As time passed, Beaver kept very busy to take his mind from his loneliness. Where he carefully felt trees, tender grass grew. Where he dragged the branches to the water, tiny leaves and twigs littered the forest floor. And where he built a dam, the water slowed and became warm. In the spring, the animals returned. They watched Beaver perfectly balanced on his new tail as he chewed the tree bark. When he swam to shore to greet them, his tail was a rudder, guiding him straight and true. And when he wanted to make an announcement, he slapped the water, making a loud sound. "I am ashamed I only talked about myself," said Beaver. "Your friendship is important to me. Please stay." "Beaver," said Deer, "you have made grass plentiful for my family. You are a good friend. Of course we will stay." "And my family can nest with the twigs and the leaves you have scattered," said Bird. "And the dam you built slowed the water and made a pool," said the fish. "I can rest and be warm. Thank you, Beaver." "And that new tail of yours is amazing," said his friends. "We wish we had tails like that." Thank you, said Beaver. He looked back at his tail. It was wide, it was flat, and it was furless. And it was really quite glorious. The end.